Hi, my name is Nawar Ibraheem. I am a doctoral researcher in the Department of Social and Political Science, and this is my presentation of my essay, Motivations and Tactics of Militant Islamist Movement. Islamism is a concept that has been debated in both public and academic contexts. The term can refer to movements which call for full implementation of Sharia. It's usually used with the term political Islam. In Western media, the term refers to groups who aim to establish a Sharia, often with the implication of political tactics and human rights violence. I would like in the beginning to separate my presentation to two parts. First, motivations of Islamist terrorism. Second part, tactics of Islamist terrorism. Motivations of Islamist terrorism. Ideology. The ideology is used often to motivate individuals and collate them under the banner of protecting religions. Terrorist attack may be carried out by inspiring individuals with their emotions amplified through radicalizations. Religious motivations. Islamist terrorist organizations use the religious side in which the violence portrayed as a sacramental act or divine duty. They use or they motivate jihadists under the banner of defending Islam and jihad. Social cultural motivation. All terrorist organizations cannot act if the society surrounding them does not support their activity. They need a cultural environment in which terrorism can operate. So we should put the religion and culture in the political and socio-economical context in order to be able to understand the nature of jihad. The jihadists believe that they are defending their Muslim community against Western's values. Foreign policy as a motivation of Islamist terrorism. Jihadists blame the Westerns for destroying the idea and political possibility of reuniting the Muslim under the role of worldwide caliphate. For jihadists, Western troops in countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, and other countries in the Muslim world its influence to severe political sovereign in the Islamist world. The next part of my presentation, tactics of Islamist terrorism, suicide attacks and bombings. The tactics is used against civilians, soldiers, and government officials. Its use often refers to such attacks by martyrdom. Recent research of the rationales of suicide bombing has identified both religious and socio-political motivations. Those who cite religion factor as an important influence note that religion provides the framework because the bombers believe they are acting in the Islam's name and they will be rewarded as martyrs. Hijackings. Hijackings as a tactic of Islamist terrorism is not usually used for theft. Usually have used to target particular location. The most infamous was the 9/11 in USA. Moreover, Air France flight in 1994 by the armed Islamist group. Kidnappings and executions. Islamist terrorists have used kidnappings for circulating video of the acts for use as propaganda. Islamist militants include Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS have used kidnappings as a method of fundraising. Social media and internet recruiting. The relation between terrorism and the media has long been noted. The terrorism has been used a lot of different platforms in the media, such as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Terrorist groups have used social media to further their goals and spread their message. Attempts have been made by different governments to thwart the use of social media by terrorists. I came to conclusion of my presentation. The main areas, such as corruption, education, and poverty, all of which are being exploited by Islamist groups. Also, those groups employ different tactics and they share a common and liberal ideology that will neither respect nor adopt universal values. Also, it's often believed that terrorism is a manifestation of religious fanaticism. When looking at today's global jihad, it's clear that it cannot be separated from the cultural background or daily events. Terrorist groups are becoming more sophisticated political actors. Even they are trying to win over the hearts and minds of local populations. The effective fight against a terrorist organization requires dealing with the two variables, the underlying motivations of terrorist activity and the operational capacity that allows to the realization of the motivations. Finding the balance between those two variables is the most challenging task. It's necessary for any attempt to achieve an effective counterterrorism strategy. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation of my essay, Motivations and Tactics of Islamist militant movements, and I hope that you enjoy in the conference. And thank you so much from Norway.